Even after purchasing the most expensive mousetrap he could find, Biff's rodent problem continued. Skydive solitaire never caught on. Biff realizes that gingerbread is not a structurally sound building material. Sneezing and model shipbuilding don't mix. Biff realizes that he should swallow his gum before going on a spacewalk. Biff realizes that there is a reason nobody sleds down the backside of that hill. Biff uses more sticks when he makes a snowman. Biff realizes that it is not more comfortable on the inside of the mattress. Biff always takes precautions before opening a bag of chips. No matter how good you are at Tetris, eventually your wall will have one painting too many. Biff realizes that he waited too long to fix that leaking faucet when he is woken up by the ceiling. Biff finds that regular slippers are just not warm enough. As the tiny boat struggled to pull him, Biff realized that the squirrel must weigh a lot less than he does. To save his clean silverware, Biff likes to make his spaghetti out of one super long noodle. That painting above the TV would never hang straight, but the legs on the table and chair were easy to cut. Ever since the invention of the handheld GPS unit, Biff has not been afraid of getting lost in the woods. Although he did arrive at his destination on time, once again, the shipping company had lost his bags. Before you lift it over your head, make sure the sword isn't heavier than you are. When socks lose their elasticity and keep falling down, a staple gun comes in handy. In the snowy season, waxing the two long edges of the envelope will get it through the postal system faster. The first annual telephone pole vault competition got off to a bad start. Biff realizes why the basement door to the pool is always locked. Biff realizes that when you bring your jacket in to have a hole repaired, you need to be specific. Harvest Day is an exciting time on Biff's mashed potato farm. Tired of losing his car keys, Biff kept a few spares by his front door. Biff realizes that he needs to watch where his tie goes when he uses the office paper shredder. While camping in a very windy area, Biff realizes what the tent stakes are for. When you resort to pouring the milk directly into the cereal box, you know it's time to do the dishes. Although being encased in carbonite did cure his insomnia, Biff found that it made him very late to work. Biff never has trouble finding his bag at the airport baggage claim. While reading the owner's manual, Biff realizes that his chair is the most complicated part of his job. Biff's new electric walking stick was great for hiking, but the battery pack made it less than convenient. One day, while doing the housework, Biff finally came up with a use for that levitation potion he had been saving all this time. It was expensive to move that iceberg onto the roof of the building, but the constant supply of cold water in his cubicle was worth it. Biff realizes that it's not a good idea to watch the fireworks display from the air. Biff felt that painting the first room took too long. It's always risky getting the coffee from the top row. Threatening the objects in his living room with a bat didn't stop them from attracting dust. Once a month, Biff takes his lamp to the chiropractor to have its neck adjusted. Sometimes Biff finds it hard to get to the phone in time since the floor is made of lava. Biff realizes that it's bad to play darts outside on a windy day. Biff realizes the danger of sucking his lip into a bottle. The meatloaf was definitely hard to cut, but the chainsaw caused more problems than it solved. Biff discovers the weight limit of his upstairs toy room. Technology changes so fast. Once a year, Biff goes to the beach to see which portable electronic device he can skip the farthest. Biff realizes that he shouldn't use his hand exerciser while eating greasy potato chips. Biff learns that he should turn off the vacuum before looking to see where that penny went. Biff bought a new locking briefcase so that nobody would steal any of his ideas. Biff discovers that the ability to pass through solid objects is inconvenient when it only happens randomly. Biff realizes that it's hard to parallel park at the speed of light. Biff thought that the squirrels chose this tree for food and shelter, but in reality, it's for the exceptional cell phone reception. Biff realizes that he dislikes helicopters. Biff finds that frozen peas are an effective headache reliever. As he calls to complain to the restaurant, Biff learns that the delivery driver is armed with stale pizza. Biff found that he had to adjust his vinyl record collection before he could import them into his computer. Sometimes, Biff regrets putting the lamp so far away from his comfy chair. Biff likes to sit alone at the movie theater. Biff realizes that in order to unload the truck, he should have parked it facing down the hill. Biff's taste in comic books has gotten him kicked out of a lot of stores. Biff managed to capture time in a bottle, but was disappointed to realize that it tastes like flat root beer. Now that he's living by himself, Biff realizes that he can use as much bubble bath as he wants. To liven up his mornings, Biff modified his coffee maker to produce caffeinated oatmeal. Biff realizes that he should have stopped at the 11th scoop. Biff realizes that he mixed up the CO2 and helium tanks. Biff finds that a trampoline comes in handy when cleaning the second-floor windows. To save time on laundry day, Biff shrinks all of his clothes so that he only has to do one load. As the museum alarm sounded, Biff realized that he should have first put his shoes on before using the invisibility spray. After trying out his new fireplace, Biff realizes that cheddar was a bad choice of building material.